The year is 1683 AD, and the Ottoman Empire is at its largest extent under Sultan Mehmed IV. It stretches from Greece to Mecca. It is bigger than the Roman Empire and roughly the same size as the Macedonian Empire under Alexander the Great. The founder of the Ottoman Empire was Osman Ghazi. He was originally from Central Asia, but little is known of his birth and early life. He is said to have been born in the mid-13th century. His early followers consisted of both Turkish tribal groups and Byzantine renegades, many of whom had converted to Islam. He conquered Byzantine towns along the Sakarya River. In the century after the death of Osman I, Ottoman rule began to extend over Anatolia and the Balkans. Osman's son Orhan captured the northwestern Anatolian city of Bursa in 1326 and made it the new capital of the Ottoman state. The state continued on conquering more and more land. The Battle of Nicopolis in 1396, widely regarded as the last large-scale crusade of the Middle Ages, failed to stop the advance of the victorious Ottoman Turks. They should make a movie about this, starring Orlando Bloom and called The Kingdom of Kebabs. This is how the empire looked in 1362, after the death of Orhan. With the extension of Turkish dominion into the Balkans, the strategic conquest of Constantinople became a crucial objective. The empire had managed to control nearly all former Byzantine lands surrounding the city, but in 1402 the Byzantines were temporarily relieved when the Turco-Mongol leader Timur, or Timurlane, invaded Anatolia from the east. Now, let me just take a minute to say that Timur was a badass with capitals. If Rambo and the Terminator had a baby, you end up with Timur. Timur defeated the Ottomans in the Battle of Ankara in 1402 and took Sultan Bayezid I as a prisoner, which threw the empire into disorder. The ensuing civil war lasted from 1402 to 1413 as Bayezid's sons fought over succession. It ended when Mehmed I emerged as Sultan and restored Ottoman power. Part of the Ottoman territories in the Balkans, such as Macedonia and Kosovo, were temporarily lost after 1402, but were later recovered by Murad II, who was Murad I's son. The Christian forces of Eastern Europe, Hungarians, Polish and Wallachians, attempted to conquer the Ottomans, but they were defeated. They tried again 4 years later under John Huyundi, but got their asses kicked again by Murad II. They shook hands with the Ottomans and called it a day. Between 1453 and 1566, the empire saw a rapid expansion. The son of Murad II, Mehmed the Conqueror, reorganized the state and the military and conquered Constantinople on the 20th of May 1453. Mehmed allowed the Orthodox Church to maintain its autonomy and land in exchange for accepting Ottoman authority. Because of bad relations between the states of Western Europe and the later Byzantine Empire, the majority of the Orthodox population accepted Ottoman rule as preferable to Venetian rule. Albanian resistance was a major obstacle to the Ottoman expansion, however, on the Italian peninsula. In the 15th and 16th centuries, the empire prospered under the rule of a line of committed and effective sultans. It also flourished economically due to its control of the major overland trade routes between Europe and Asia. Sultan Selim I dramatically expanded the empire's eastern and southern frontiers by defeating Shah Ismail of Safavid Persia in the Battle of Shaljurin. Selim I established Ottoman rule in Egypt and created a naval presence on the Red Sea. After this Ottoman expansion, a competition started between the Portuguese Empire and the Ottoman Empire to become the dominant power in the region. After Selim I came Suleiman the Magnificent. He captured Belgrade in 1821 and conquered the southern and central parts of the Kingdom of Hungary as part of the Ottoman-Hungarian Wars, and after his historical victory in the Battle of Mohacs in 1526, he established Turkish rule in the territory of present-day Hungary, except Western Hungary, and he also conquered other Central European territories. In 1532, he made another attack on Vienna, but was repulsed in the Siege of Gurs. Transylvania, Wallachia, and intimately Moldavia became tributary principalities of the Ottoman Empire. In the east, the Ottoman Turks took Baghdad from the Persians in 1535, gaining control of Mesopotamia and naval access to the Persian Gulf. In 1555, the Caucasus became officially partitioned for the first time between the Safavids
and the Ottomans, a status quo that would remain until the end of the Russo-Turkish War that lasted between 1768 and 1774. By this partitioning of the Caucasus, assigned in the Peace of Amasya, Western Armenia and Western Georgia fell into the Ottoman hands, while Dagestan, Eastern Armenia, Eastern Georgia and Azerbaijan remained Persian. France and the Ottoman Empire, united by a mutual opposition to Habsburg rule, became strong allies. The French conquests of Nice in 1543 and Caucasus in 1553 occurred as a joint venture between the forces of the French king Francis I and Suleiman, and were commanded by the Ottoman admirals Barbarossa, Hiruddin Pusta and Turgut Reis. A month before the siege of Nice, France supported the Ottomans with an artillery unit during the 1543 Ottoman conquest of Özdehan in northern Hungary. After further advances by the Turks, the Habsburg ruler Ferdinand officially recognized Ottoman ascendancy in Hungary in 1547. In 1559, after the First Algerine-Portuguese War, the Ottoman Empire would later absorb the weakened East African Adal Sultanate into its dominion. This furthered Ottoman rule in Somalia and the Horn of Africa. This also increased its influence in the Indian Ocean to compete against the Portuguese with its close ally, the Algerine Empire. By the end of Suleiman's reign, the empire spanned approximately 877,888 square miles, extending over 3 continents. In addition, the empire became a dominant naval force, controlling much of the Mediterranean Sea. By this time, the Ottoman Empire was a major part of the European political sphere. The success of its political and military establishment was compared to the Roman Empire by the likes of Italian scholar Francesco Sansorino and the French political philosopher Jean Bodin.